Welcome to Shomach Shava on the Daf. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Mem Gimel. The Gemara in Mizbeach brings the idea that when something touches the Mizbeach, so any issues that it has goes away. The Lashon of the Gemara is Umavitzu Rabbi Pigul ve'anoisar ve'atome shehenu gebe Mizbeach poko yisur mehem. Yisur goes away. Says the Gemara Rav Chizdo Mori Dichim Mizbeach Mikvah tahara. Mizbeach is a mikvah. Once the fire catches onto them, so then really there is the tumah or the pigul will go away. So two nikudas over here. One nikuda is more al decha hilchaso. The Avnei Nezer Chaim Siman Tavkuv Beis says Dover Nifla Moed. Says in Chanukah we have a din that hadlaka is a mitzvah. The only thing we care about is hadlaka. And kafsa in zokuklo, meaning if the nair is extinguished, so then I'm not going to go, you don't have to light the candles again. Why is that so? Why do we care only about la hadlaka? Says the Avnei Nezer like this. We know that in the shmonim that were lost, that at the time of Chanukah they found everything was tameh, there's only one that was tar b'chisama shekohen gadol. So already the Mefarshim here is referring to the Pnei Yeshua, they asked the question, but we know tumah hutra b'tzibur. Why can't you take the oil and use it? Says the Pnei Yeshua is to show the beautiful ava that Kadosh Baruch Hu loves us. That even though you could do it b'tumah, we still do it b'tahara. Says the Avnei Nezer Nifla Moed. He says that's all before you lit the candle. He says that lighting the candle is like as if you're putting fire in the Mizbeach. So before you lit the candle, you want to put in an oil which is kosher, now which is tameh, even though tumah hutra b'tzibur. But once you lit it, then it becomes tar. Because then we have the din that we have in our Gemara. The Mizbeach, the fire, is a mikvah tahara. It's mitahara everything. So once you lit it, there's no issue anymore. So where was the nace? The nace wasn't for the time that the candle was lit. The nace was only to light the candle. Only b'sh'as ha'adlaka. Afterwards, anyway, it will become tar. So Yemel zok down nace and nifla moed. That's why in Chanukah hadlaka oisa mitzvah. All I care about is hadlaka. Because I'm celebrating the nace. What was the nace? The nace wasn't that the candle was lit. Because once the candle was lit, so you could put even shem and tameh, because it will automatically become tar. So the ikar nace was the beginning of hadlaka. When you light it, when you just start the fire. When you start the fire, that's why, if that's the ikar nace, so therefore in Chanukah we're celebrating that, and therefore hadlaka oisa mitzvah dvarim nifloim ad lemoed. We had over here, Aldecha Chasidus and Tiferes Shloimo in Pashas Pichos. He brings our Gemara and says, what does it mean? Pigul v'anoisa v'atome shehelu gebe mizbeach poka yisu mehem. This is a mashal or a concept of anybody, any person, any adam who's a little bit of a rasha. He's not perfect. He's a shtickle pigul. He's a shtickle noiser. He's a shtickle tome. But if he goes on the mizbeach, which means he gets close to the tzaddikim, which they are the fire, so the yisur goes away, the tzaddikim elevate them. And he goes on to show how the tzaddikim were really compared in parallel to the karbet, to the Mizbeach. And then he adds what the Gemara says. The Gemara says, you want to tell me the Mizbeach is a mikvah tahara? So he has mikvah tahara, that's what brings tahara in the world. That's what takes all the tur and makes it tar. So the Gemara, yes, once you have the fire, that's a mikvah tahara. Says the Tiferes Shloimo, that's a pshat. Because when the fire that you have in the Mizbeach, that's what the tzaddikim bring. It's keneged what happens in the world. Because we know that Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world, but from here on, Maaseh Yadav is Maaseh Yadim Shel Tzaddikim. The tzaddikim are considered to be shutafim b'Maaseh Bereshis. And then it says, B'yom HaRishon Hi Or, that's the Or Shel Tzaddikim. So the light, the fire of the tzaddikim, that's the creation of Shemayim v'Haaretz, which is that concept of the mikvah. What the Tiferes Shloimo seems to allude to is the concept that the whole idea of the mikvah, the chinuch says, is that you're going back to create the creation of the world. That's what water is all about. Because the tzaddikim belong there, so they're able to do it as well. They're like the mikvah, and that's the remez in our Gemara, that the fire of the Mizbeach can be mitayr and machshir all the psulim. And that's connected, all the rishonim that connect to a tzaddik, so they're elevated to the right place. To join or to sponsor the Shomach Shava Shurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.